All right, so you've done it. You've powered through the tutorials, you've built your first Next.js app, and you've even hooked it up to a database. That is an awesome first step, but the real journey, that's just beginning. Today, we're going to talk about bridging that huge gap between a simple tutorial project and a professional, rock-solid, production-grade application.
And this is the million-dollar question, isn't it? Your app works. It runs on your machine. It even deploys just fine. But is it really ready for the real world? Is it secure? Is it going to scale when you get that first big traffic spike? Is it built to last? That's what separates the hobby project from the professional product, and we're going to break down exactly how you make that leap.
So here's the game plan. We'll kick things off with the promise of the modern stack. Then we'll dive deep into the database, comparing seeding versus migrations and raw SQL versus ORMs. After that, we'll cover the crucial steps to take your project into production, and we'll wrap it all up with a clear architectural blueprint you can use.
Okay, first up, the modern stack. It is an absolute game changer, for sure. But its powerful simplicity can sometimes hide some really important complexities that you need to know about.
You know, the real beauty of this stack is just how much it does for you behind the scenes. You don't have to think about provisioning servers or configuring load balancers or setting up a global CDN. It's all just handled. That means you get to focus on what you actually love doing, building your application.
And this whole system is built around a concept called GitOps. It's a fundamental idea, and it's pretty simple, really. Your Git repository, that becomes your control panel, the single source of truth. Every single code change can automatically trigger a build and a deployment.
And this workflow, it's just seamless. You just push your code to Git, Vercel automatically picks it up and starts a build. It creates these amazing instant preview URLs for your pull requests, and when you merge to your main branch, poof, it's deployed to production. It's a complete CI/CD pipeline triggered by a simple Git push. How cool is that?
Okay, now it's time for our first major level up moment, how we set up the database. And let me tell you, the way tutorials handle this is worlds apart from how you do it in a professional setting.
You've probably seen this 100 times in tutorials, right? They tell you to create a simple API route, something like seed, that you just visit in your browser to create and populate your tables. And yeah, it's fast, it's easy, and it gets you started in minutes, but it is a huge red flag in any real-world application.
And look, don't just take my word for it. You have to understand, leaving an open endpoint that can write to, or worse, delete from your database is a massive security risk. If a bad actor finds that endpoint, they could completely wipe out your data. It's a dangerous anti-pattern, and it has no place in a serious project.
So here's the difference in a nutshell. The apprentice uses a one-off, totally insecure script. The architect, on the other hand, uses version-controlled migrations. With a tool like Prisma Migrate, every single change to your database schema is just a file in your codebase. It's trackable, it's repeatable, and it's completely secure because it's never exposed through an API. This is absolutely non-negotiable for professional work.
Okay, so our database schema is now solid and version controlled. Awesome. Now, how do we actually get data in and out of our app? Well, this brings us to our next big level up moment, the data access layer.
Now, the most direct way to talk to a database is, of course, by writing raw SQL. You see it in tutorials all the time. You just write a query as a string right there in your code. It's direct, and for really simple tasks, it definitely feels fast. But here's the thing. Manually writing SQL strings is like walking a tightrope without a net. A single typo can crash your query. But worse, so much worse, is that if you aren't extremely careful about cleaning user input, you open the door to one of the oldest and most devastating web vulnerabilities out there, SQL injection.
The architect's solution is to use a type-safe ORM, like Prisma. Think of it like a protective layer. Instead of writing raw SQL strings, you write typed code. This gives you amazing benefits like auto-completion in your editor, and, most importantly, it automatically prevents SQL injection attacks right out of the box. It's a massive win for security, for keeping your code clean, and for your own productivity.
So, we've covered the schema, and we've covered querying. Now we're in the final mile, making sure your app is resilient, fast, and truly secure once it's out there in the wild, in production.
So check out this chart, because this shows a critical challenge in the serverless world. Every time a serverless function runs, it can try to open a brand new connection to your database. So a traffic spike, which you see on the left, can suddenly open thousands of connections and completely overwhelm your database. The solution is something called connection pooling.
It's like a gatekeeper that reuses a managed set of connections, keeping your app stable and happy under load, just like you see on the right.
And beyond that, there are a few more must-dos. You absolutely want to co-locate your database and your functions in the same region to cut down on latency. You should be creating indexes for faster queries and using monitoring tools to catch problems before your users do. And critically, please never, ever put secrets in a .env file in production. Use a secure system like Vercel's environment variables.
Whew, we've covered a lot of ground here, right? We've moved from those quick and dirty apprentice-level shortcuts to some real architect-level solutions. So let's boil all of this down into a clear, actionable blueprint that you can take away and use.
Let's recap with the 5 pillars of production. Number 1, embrace a Git-centric workflow. 2, use serverless native tools and make sure you co-locate them. 3, manage your schema like a pro with migrations. 4, access your data with a modern type-safe ORM. And finally, number 5, prioritize performance and security from day one. This is your checklist. This is how you build a robust application.
And that really brings us to the end. You see, the journey from apprentice to architect is all about making deliberate professional choices. So I'm going to leave you with this question to think about for your own work. What's the very first tutorial shortcut in your project that you are going to upgrade to a real architect solution? Thanks so much for tuning in.